Please help me to trust, to believe in my financial capability to expand myself without efforting.
Well, your question was full of mixed vibrations, so you can't get there from there. In other words, just your attention on the effort activates it and holds it in your vibration, which keeps the struggle happening, doesn't it? Whenever anybody asks to trust more in anything, we always want to say, first you must trust in law of attraction, do you?
Yes.
So you believe that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not?
Absolutely.
So it makes sense to you that every subject is really two subjects, wanted on one end and absence of it on the other. So if something that you believe that you desire is slow in coming, then it always means the same thing, that you're giving more thought time, more talk time, more air time to the absence of it than the presence of it. So you can always trust law of attraction to give you whatever balance you've got going on. So it's not such a matter of trusting, because law of attraction is always giving you exactly what you are emanating. So it's just a matter of associating what you're getting with how you're feeling, and then doing a little shifting of focus so that you shift the way you feel, and then the evidence shows up. The way that you come to your own personal sense of worthiness is by allowing the law of attraction to give you what you're asking for. So when you figure out what it is that you're thinking and how often you're thinking of it, that's sort of slowing it down, and you do that less by doing something else more, then what happens is you get into that receptive mode more often, where ideas come and you follow through on the ideas, right on through to the manifestation, right all through that sweet spot of things connecting and rendezvous happening and ideas flowing. And then you come to really trust in your ability to be or do or have anything that you desire. So you want to chew with us a little bit? And sometimes when you're close, it's of value to try to clean up your vibration a little bit. Often, the best way of going about it is to stay off the subject that is bothering you and focus on a subject that is easier, because the whole effort thing is about you believing that it's hard. The reason that people want to talk about a specific issue is because it's not going the way they want it to. So when they take the issue that's not going the way they want it to, and that's what they want to talk about, usually they practice it more into not working than into working, because your vibration is where it is, and talking about it usually just puts a sort of magnifying glass on where it is. So give us a little conversation about what it is you are desiring relative to money.
I'm desiring to have more than enough. If I could today do what I really want to do, I want to be able to travel and leave $100 bills under pillows so the person who made my bed gets blessed, because I've been there. I've made beds. And I want to be a person who helps somebody else's life feel a little bit happier. Right now, I work in a nonprofit organization in a cubicle. I feel like I'm in a box of nonprofit. I want to profit. I want to be generous. I want more than enough.
So when you think about leaving that $100 bill under the pillow, talk to us about how that feels.
I feel good giving gifts and helping somebody else feel happy too, by helping them.
So do you believe that they have a stream of abundance flowing to them?
If that's where they're at in their law of attraction.
What we're asking is, who's leaving the $100 bills under your pillow?
That's what I gotta get to. How many will get there?
This is really worth talking about, because you want a whole lot of money so that money is not a factor for you. And you want to leave $100 bills, or 5 or 10 of them. You want to leave $1 million under somebody's pillow.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Well, the reason that we're playing with you a little bit here is because sometimes there is a misunderstanding of how the abundance comes. And sometimes you get too far out into the story of manifestation before you step in. And by that we mean, we were visiting with a woman fairly recently who wanted an extra $100,000 right away so that she could travel. And we wanted her to understand that there was a lot more to the process of that abundance coming to her. She wanted the $100,000 to just come so that she could do with it what would please her, in the same way that you want the abundance to come so that you can leave it under pillows for others. And we want you to acknowledge how much more there is to the process of the abundance coming, and that by the time you're desiring it for travel or for fun or for upliftment of others, that a lot has happened in the process. And if you would acknowledge how much has already happened, then it would be easier for you to allow it to come into your mind, into your impulse, into your life experience. There is abundance raining down all around all of you, but in the feeling that it isn't raining down fast enough, or in the feeling that poop to value, that you have to give too much effort for the value that you're getting, then you block it off. So if you are going to stubbornly focus on the subject of abundance, then you have to find a way to think about it in a way that's not resistance within you. So is there evidence of abundance in your experience other than money? And we know money is flowing. You want it to come in an easier way, and we want it to come in all kinds of ways to you. Is there abundance that is coming to you other than the abundance of dollars that you are speaking of?
Absolutely. I have good relationships in my life.
So focus specifically on the idea of abundance of good things, and just speak softly and confidently to us about it.
Help me out some more.
There is an abundance of sweet smelling air around this planet. And every time Esther comes into a new city, the first thing she does as she steps out into the atmosphere is she takes it in with appreciation and notices the differences of it. Dry air is different than more humid air. And sometimes there are sweet fragrances. There is atmosphere in the air that she can sense and smell. But she never stops appreciating this really high quality, good feeling, really important to her experience. Abundance of air. It's just something that's always there, but she never takes for granted because there's something so nurturing about it. The abundance of beautiful buildings, beautiful rooms like this one. The abundance of beautiful people and relationships. The abundance of never-ending questions and therefore never-ending answers. The abundance of food, the abundance of well-being, the abundance of highways and waterways and conveyances and people to help her along her way. Abundance everywhere she looks. Abundance of people standing in places, doing things that she doesn't want to do, but it's at a vibrational place for them that they are finding satisfaction from it. And so abundance of people, of traffic directors and people who build the roads, and abundance of all things that make for this world, abundance of all of that. And you just can't focus like that for very long without beginning to feel blessed, without beginning to acknowledge your worthiness. Abundance of good timing, abundance of well-wishers, abundance of people doing good jobs, abundance of people being joyful, abundance of people helping out in all kinds of different ways. There's just such an abundance of connectivity and networking and well-being. Now, there was not resistance within any of you as we focused there. That's abundance, and those kinds of conversations hold you in a vibration that allows the abundance that you've asked for and the abundance that's been gestating in your own vortex to show itself to you in other ways. And because we stayed off the subject of currency or credit or cash, then any habit of thought or belief that you have about that was not activated during this conversation. So your abundance vibration was enhanced by a conversation like this. You're in a different vibrational place. And you can tell that feeling of trust comes because was it a satisfying conversation to some extent? Weren't those words satisfying? And didn't you resonate with them? Don't you feel that too? Mm-hmm. And so you stayed off the subject that activates resistance and focused on subjects that activate what you're wanting, practiced the vibration of desire, and your point of attraction has shifted from just that much focus. That's what you do. And then, because now your point of attraction is shifted, everything's going to shift. You're going to meet nicer people. Air's going to smell better everywhere you go. More money's going to flow more easily into your experience. And as you make the association between the manifestations that will happen and the conversation that you just deliberately projected, then you come to trust. Trust in your ability to let it in. Because it's trusting in your reception that is all that is necessary here. You're asking and it is answered. In other words, it's a done deal. And the abundance, if you could see the abundance that is gathered up in your vortex, you don't have time to spend all of the abundance that you have gathered that is flowing to you. In time, we will have seminars on de-manifestation. It'll be a burden, all the money you're carrying around for those pillows. What's in the bag? Pillow stuff. What do you mean? I'm going to leave it under the pillow.
Yes.
Seems like a lot. It is. Started out with $100 bills, but it just got out of hand.
Yes.
We're not kidding you. Whatever you ask for has come. You just have to figure out how to let it in. And that feeling of fear or that feeling of concern or that feeling of worry or that feeling of overwhelmment or that feeling of injustice or that feeling of being in a box, that feeling of being in a box, that feeling of paying too big of a price for the abundance that comes. You got to keep that poop to value in balance. You do. You got to keep your desires and your beliefs in balance in order for you to receive all that you have accomplished vibrationally. Helpful?
Yes.
So now talk to us a little more specifically about abundance. Let's see if we moved your energy enough that we can feel a difference in your vibration. So now talk to us a little more specifically, sort of what you intended as you sat down.
So my goal was to expand and trust in my ability to expand.
So you believe in the universe, you believe in law of attraction, you believe abundance is coming, you believe abundance is in your vortex. Do you believe that you're more ready to receive it?
Yes.
So give us some conversation that indicates that readiness to receive.
Well, some things that came to mind as you spoke about the things to focus on. I focused on the minutia of
Don't do that. Don't do that. Focus on the things that are the easiest. Talk to us about the ease of dollars flowing. Talk to us about the surprise and delight of dollars flowing. Talk to us about a new idea coming and knowing that's a good one. Talk about an anticipatory feeling. I can feel that things are coming. Can't see it yet. Don't know exactly how it's going to be there, but I can feel it coming. I feel anticipation. I'm feeling an eagerness. I'm feeling a sort of relief of stress. I'm feeling eager about where I am, satisfied with where I am, and an eagerness for it to even be better and better and better. Now we're talking more specifically about money, but still there's no resistance in the conversation. Can you feel it?
In my gut, I do. There's still, when it comes to money, there's hell no, ain't gonna happen. And I gotta get beyond this. I want to get beyond it.
That feeling will stay there unless you focus on something where that feeling isn't. See, this is the thing that we want you to understand. So if you focus there and it feels like that, just like if you take a drug that makes you sick, stop taking it. If you eat something and your face swells up, don't eat it again. Let your guidance be your guidance. And so if that conversation doesn't feel good, as you say, I can feel it in my gut, then stay away from it, because the way it sits in your vibration, it's not helpful to keep it active. And you don't have to change it, just don't keep it active, because if it's not active, it won't be a resistant player. Anything that's not active won't hold anything that you want away from you. So just get more general, more gentle. So while you might want $100 or $200 or $300 or $400 or $500,000 to flow easily into your experience right away, it's not going to happen today. It isn't going to come right now, this red hot minute, but you could find the feelings of abundance within 5 or 10 minutes. You could accomplish the vibrational shift. And if you've accomplished the vibrational shift, then you've opened your passageway to the next idea and the next and the next and the next and the next and the next, you see.